Hello, my name is Rob Evans, and I'm the School Security Liaison Officer for Vermont's Agency of Education and Department of Public Safety. This facilitated dialogue is designed to initiate a conversation with your staff about how your school would respond to a threat of violence, and to familiarize your staff with current school emergency operations plans, policies, and procedures. And please remember the following guidelines throughout your discussions today. This is a great opportunity to walk through a scenario together. It's definitely a low-stress, no-fault environment. And there are absolutely no right or wrong answers. Respond based on current plans, policies, and procedures to the questions involved in this scenario. I don't know or we don't have that are okay and acceptable answers. Now let's get started with the scenario. The date is February 15th, 2017. It's 9 a.m. in the morning, and the principal of the school has called out sick. At 9:45 in the morning, a parent of one of your students has made the front office of your school aware of some social media postings that reference a possible attack against one of your teachers, a Mrs. Smith, by a student at your school. The parent forwards the post to the front office staff. The social media posts do not identify who the potential suspect is in these threats. Please finish your conversations about these questions before advancing to the next slide. It's now 10 o'clock in the morning. A father of one of your students, a Mr. Davis, calls your front office and informs you of a disturbing conversation he had with his son, Billy Davis, before he left for school today. Mr. Davis tells your staff that Billy had made mention that he was tired of being singled out by Mrs. Smith in class, and that if she embarrasses him in front of his friends again, she is going to pay. After Billy went to school, Mr. Davis looked in Billy's room and found some very graphic drawings of a person being stabbed. The victim in the drawing was labeled as Mrs. Smith. Attendance logs show that Billy Davis is not in school today. Please finish your conversations about these questions before advancing to the next slide. It's now 10:15 in the morning. Mr. Davis calls back and informs your front office that his son, Billy, is back home and will be seeing a mental health professional later that day to address the threats that he made. Mr. Davis has requested that he meet with school staff later that day to determine a plan of action moving forward. Please finish your conversations about these questions before advancing to the next slide. And some additional considerations to think about. What additional training has been identified for school staff to attend that would help you respond to a situation like this? And does your school have more than one person who can take charge during a situation like this? Has this person been trained in how to conduct a behavioral threat assessment? When was the last time you discussed how your staff would respond to a situation like this? And have you coordinated with local law enforcement about when they would like to be informed of situations like this and what resources they can provide to assist you in responding to these types of situations? Thank you for participating in this training today, and please feel free to call me if you have any questions.